So many real estate agents are facing an identity crisis in your business. You don't know which role you play. You don't know where you fit in. I'm going to show you how to fix this and exactly what I'm talking about right now. What is up, guys? Welcome to episode 360 of the Massive Agent Podcast. I'm your host, Dustin Brohm, here in Salt Lake City, Utah. And today I'm going to be explaining why you may have an identity crisis. You may be confused and you may be screwing yourself in business. And I see 9 out of 10 agents doing this, if I'm being totally honest, some worse than others. But I'll explain exactly what I mean. And then I'll share with you how you can fix it and how you can identify if you're suffering from this identity crisis yourself, because it's rampant in our industry. And if you can fix this, then you could have a career beyond your wildest dreams. You could have freedom, you can have income, you can have flexibility, impact, fulfillment, more than you ever thought possible. But it comes down to diagnosing this issue. So what I'm talking about, I see so many agents who don't know if they are the business owner or the freaking secretary. You don't know if you're the business owner or the taskmaster. You don't know if you're the business owner or the transaction coordinator. Well, which are you? See, what most agents do, and there's a period of time where it's okay for agents to wear all the hats, but you have to have an expiration date on that amount of time. Right? When you're brand new to the industry and you're trying to figure shit out, it's okay to wear all the hats for a short period of time. The problem is most agents just never take those hats off. They never put an expiration date on being everything. So if you are going to be a business owner, if you really are an entrepreneur with a real estate license, if you want to one day have freedom and leverage and flexibility and be able to go to your daughter's soccer game and go to your son's school play, and or even just take a week off to take your family on vacation, if you want to have the ability and flexibility to do that, then you have to stop being all things within your business. So many of you are confused. You think that you're the secretary. You think that you're also the transaction coordinator, that you're also the graphic designer. You're also the editor of videos. And you're not acting like a business owner. A business owner, a CEO thinker, does not do all of the tasks within the business. There's certain things that are sucking all of your time. You don't even realize it. It's sucking your time and distracting you from the money-making activities, from actually maybe doing a client event and being at the event and talking with people and having the first interaction. And even marketing, like being in the marketing pieces, doing content and all of that. Those are money-making activities, right? You don't necessarily have to be the one that types up the big long email that, to promote the video you just did. You don't necessarily have to be the one to edit the video that you just did. You don't even have to necessarily be the one to post it, but you have to be in it, of course. So first off, define what the money-making activities are in your business. Like what can you not remove yourself from ever, right? What do you have to be involved in? And for a lot of you, whatever that list is, I would even challenge that some of the things on that list, you don't have to do either. And if you think that, well, if I build this big real estate team, then everyone's going to want to work with me. No, that's a scripting problem. You need to learn some scripting and messaging to show you how to transfer somebody over to someone who's a better fit for them, a specialist, a neighborhood expert, someone who focuses on whatever type of transaction that they're about to do, whether they're a buyer, a seller, or they live in a certain neighborhood or whatever. You have someone just for them that you've hired to show them houses. You have someone who's the listing specialist in their neighborhood. So if you edify people properly, they don't want you anymore. They're like, oh, cool. Like you have someone better who's a specialist. Like they're your expert for me. Great. And they push you aside. It's a scripting issue, right? You're spending so much time being the secretary, doing administrative tasks, emails, scheduling, like random mundane client inquiries. I see agents trying to save a few $100 because, well, it only takes me 10 or 15 minutes to do the transaction coordination. No, it doesn't. And let's just say it only takes you 15 minutes, but you're working with 4 clients that month. Okay, that's 2 hours. Or sorry, that's an hour. Well, it's not just the 1 hour of time. It's that it's not just, all right, start the clock, you work 15 minutes on the file and you're done. It happens all over the place at random times. It distracts the shit out of you. And all of all those extra distractions is just more noise in your mind that it's slowly distracting you from ever being super productive with anything. And that's a problem. So the first step, the first hire every agent should make is a transaction coordinator. This is not the first time you've heard me say this. I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. You need to hire a transaction coordinator. I don't care if you've never sold a house yet. You need a TC once you do. I don't care how long it takes you to do a file or whatever, or nobody else is as good as you. Bullshit. You think no one else can cross T's and dot I's as well as you? You don't think anyone else can make sure that certain signatures and initials are put in the right place? No one else is capable of that? Are you serious? No one else is capable of like sending a document from one place to another, or uploading a document from one place to another, or sending an email to somebody saying, hey, here you go, here's the document. No one else can do that? Seriously? And if you really believe that, that's your problem. You think that you're the only one capable of doing anything. You're never going to grow as a business owner. It's not possible for you to grow as a business owner if you think no one else can do the job, that you're the only person on planet Earth qualified. Well, how about all the other real estate transactions that happen in this world that you're not a part of? How do those happen? If you're the only one competent enough to do any of that shit, how do all the others get done? Huh? And then how arrogant do you have to be to think that everyone else doing it and all the other transactions you're not part of are doing it? They're more inferior. Like they're just not doing it up to your standards. It's ridiculous when I say it out loud like this, but some of you actually think this. You're like, well, I can't pass that off to somebody else. Nobody knows how to do it my way. What if your way sucks? What if your way is slow and unnecessary and who cares if somebody else does it slower, right? What if somebody else does it slower? Okay, you're not doing it. As long as it gets done and gets done well, there's so much bullshit that happens in our mind. It's hilarious. So if you're managing your transactions, you're dealing with paperwork and deadlines and signatures and sending them to places, you can hire someone to do that stuff for a few $100s per transaction. And by the way, with the TC, stop trying to hire hire and train a transaction coordinator. I don't understand why agents think that you need to hire someone and then train them how to be a TC. Why don't you just hire someone who's already a very freaking good TC to do the transaction coordination? Like, why? Why do you have to train someone when someone else, like lots and lots and lots of people, already know how to do that work? Like, why not just go to someone who's already a professional at it and have them do it for you? I don't understand that. It's just backwards thinking. And this is where we get in our own way as business owners and we start acting like the damn secretary, or we get this weird arrogance, and we don't see it as that, of course. It's being a control freak, and it's rooted in insecurity for sure. There's other stuff like I mentioned, social media posts, editing your videos, follow up, database management, email drip campaigns, all that stuff. Why do you have to be the one that sets that up and manages that stuff? You can't have an ISA do it. You can't have a marketing assistant do that stuff. This identity crisis that you're facing is you think you're the business owner. You think you're the entrepreneur, yet you're spending your time doing the work of the secretary, of the administrative assistant, of an ISA, of an editor, of a copywriter, rather than just finding those people and bringing them onto your team to do that stuff for you. It takes some planning. Yes. You may have to even put some money aside to be able to make sure you can handle their salary. Or most of them, you may not even need a salary. You pay them hourly, or you just pay them per job, depending on what the job is, like transaction coordination. So there's just so many bullshit stories in your head that are holding you back. And it goes to this identity crisis. You don't know what your role truly is. So you do everything. Some of you are going to figure it out and realize, I guess I don't have to be doing those things. There's a few things I do need to do. So let me hire some people and get them to do all the other stuff that really takes the most time to free you up to do more of the money-making activities that actually move the needle for your business. And what if you could do that? What if you hired some people so you could focus on the stuff that actually moves the needle, that actually brings in the dollars, that actually moves clients, that brings clients in and moves them through to closing? What if you just did that all day long? Do you think you'd be selling more houses and making more money? Obviously. And you'd probably be spending less time. You'd probably be working less. So I challenge you today, if you feel like you're wearing all the hats and now hopefully you're realizing, wait, I don't need to do all that. That's kind of insane. At a minimum, you have to put an end date on it. You're like, okay, by this date, I'm going to have systems. I'm going to have people. I'm going to put some money aside from the next few transactions, and I'm going to make this higher. At a minimum, you've got to do that. Because if you just keep doing what you're doing now into perpetuity forever, don't be surprised when you're still stuck at pretty much the same level. That sucks. I don't want that for any of you. So figure it out and make a decision. Are you the business owner? Are you the entrepreneur? Or are you the secretary? Are you the transaction coordinator? Are you the database manager person? Are you the inside sales agent? Are you the door opener person? I mean, I can't really answer that for you. Figure this shit out and make a decision, because once you do, and as long as you take action after the decision and you keep that decision in the forefront of your mind, a year from now, you could have a dramatically different looking business. You'd be making so much more money, serving so many more people, closing so many more deals, and working much less. It's absolutely possible. It just takes a decision and the right action. I hope that you do it. I hope that you do this. Some things that you could do to some tools you could that could help you. Keeping current matters, right? Bring KCM on. If you're spending your time trying to figure out, I got to do this marketing, but what's going on with the market? What's going on with interest rates? How do I explain this to people? How do I properly educate people and guide them on what's happening? What if you just got KCM to tell you all of that stuff? This is one of those shortcuts. I don't understand why agents are not using Keeping Current Matters more, so that you're just like, okay, KCM says, here's what's happening economically. Here's what's happening within the market. Here's what it means. Here's the messaging. And then you just create content around that. It saves you so much less mental bandwidth. There's so much less mental space taken up by all of that thought and processing. Just use Keeping Current Matters. It's so inexpensive. Try it out. Go to trykcm.com/BAM and try it out. And if you actually use it and implement it, you'll see, wow, this is actually freed up time and I'm getting more done and it's better content. trykcm.com/BAM. And then you've got to be around people that are winning at the thing that you're trying to win at. People that are just further ahead. You need a good group, a good community around you. And this is where BAMX, I think, is incredible. Not only do they have courses and trainings and masterminds, but the community within BAMX, these are agents that are already ahead of you in the journey. They figured the shit out that you're trying to figure out. And you need to be around those people as often as possible. I highly recommend you check out BAMX and use code MASSIVE at checkout over on the nowbam.com website. Use code MASSIVE, save yourself some money and get a discount on the BAMX membership. And whatever you do, please, before you turn this podcast off and you skip over to Joe Rogan or All In or whatever the hell you're listening to, or Call Me Daddy, whatever you're listening to, decide, are you the business owner or the secretary? And if you really make a decision, this could be a pivotal moment in your career. I hope you make it. Have a good one, guys. See you next week.